Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Balls Out Sports Podcast. I'm Remy. This is Jerry, and this is the third episode. Are you ready to talk sports?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go. We like starting with the NFL season. So, what's something that you saw this past couple of weeks that you really like or really didn't like about some teams?
Let's see. You saw that Bills game last night, right?
Yeah, Bills Broncos Monday Night Football. That was a crazy game. I tuned in the second half, and I'm glad I did because I was thinking about just going to bed and not watching it because I honestly thought it was going to be a blowout. I'm not going to lie.
Boy, that was the greatest ending this year so far. I think the best ending to a football game this year so far. Basically, they was tied. It was a good game, but Josh Allen is a turnover machine.
I can't remember who it was, but I saw someone on ESPN say something along the lines that he's a modern day Brett Favre.
Oh man,
Where
that's a good
it's a
comparison.
good player, you can't disrespect Brett Favre, can't disrespect Josh Allen, everything they've put into the game. But turnover-prone guys, essentially, is the bottom line with both of those guys. So what'd you have to say about that? I honestly think it's a little bit exaggerated because I don't think anyone has Josh Allen right now as a no-doubt Hall of Fame quarterback.
I don't think. So you saying like there's not like high expectations on him, so it's not that serious?
Right, like Brett Favre would get like 2 interceptions, but also 4 touchdowns. I didn't see 4 touchdowns come from Josh Allen this game. It's basically what I'm trying to get to.
They was allergic to scoring this game last night, and then Diggs was clamped. So you saw his brother went on Twitter after the game. He was like, "You got to get out of there," and then Loki was on Twitter earlier, kind of like bashing Josh Allen a little bit.
Right, and I personally think it's a little bit more serious if you have someone from the same family.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like
That's
a Twitter rumor or something that got started by let's say like an agent or something like that. Like this is legit, like Stephon Diggs' brother.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. That's not a good look for
For the Bills,
Yeah,
for
for the
Josh
team,
Allen and
for
the
the
Bills,
team.
yeah, because we know the Bills don't want to move on from Josh Allen, and them bringing Stephon Diggs in was really a boost for his career.
Yeah.
So, what do you think happens if Diggs does end up deciding to leave? Is that kind of it for Josh Allen in Buffalo, or
It's possible.
I mean, this could start a pretty big spiral, butterfly effect right here.
Yeah, it's possible. I think he could leave. But it's like when they're winning games, they're winning games. But when they're losing games, it's like they bitching and complain. Like, bro, you're gonna lose games. You're gonna lose games. You
Yeah.
can't cry and run every time. You know?
So, what 2 games that I'd like to compare is they're both losses for the Bills, but they were taken very differently. It's the game against Kansas City, right? The famous game, the infamous game where it was just a shootout back and forth, and it ends up with Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill setting up a field goal to go into overtime. Chiefs beat the Bills. Everyone saw the Bills as that kind of being their year to make that push.
Yep.
And then next season, they have the loss to the Vikings, where
Yeah.
same thing, a Josh Allen turnover
Critical turnover.
absolutely derails the game for the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah,
So getting to the Bills side of this, how is this going to be affected? Because obviously we've had high expectations for them in the past. Well, what can we expect if Stephon Diggs does leave?
what year is this of them being together? Like,
This is Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen's 3rd year. Fourth full.
Fourth.
This is their 4th season together.
I think if they don't pull it together these last few games, then it's possible that one of them is out of there, or one or both of them.
Well, we know that Diggs wants to leave. Do you think that him leaving would push Josh Allen to have to leave as well?
Who's he gonna throw the ball to?
Gabe Davis.
Uh, we'll see how that goes. But
Nah, for real. He's a good quarterback. I just don't think he's going to be in that MVP conversation every year if he doesn't have a Stephon Diggs. And
yes, his receivers make him look better. And Diggs is such a great route runner, and he's able to like make catches to where like a QB. It may not have been the best throw, but he made it look better than it was.
right, I mean, he was making Sam Bradford and Case Keenum look good in Minnesota way before Josh Allen.
Exactly.
So, yeah. But what do you think would be a good destination for Diggs if he does decide to leave?
Man, I don't even know. Who needs some receivers?
Because I could see him taking a unconventional route and joining someone who, this is a beautiful segue. I'm giving myself some props here. On the Texans, a young QB
nice.
who's absolutely balling. They've been in rebuild mode for a few years, so they got picks, they got stuff to trade, they got money to throw at Stephon Diggs. I think that could be a great landing spot if he does end up wanting to leave Buffalo.
Diggs and Stroud. That would be cool.
That because people are knocking him. Well, no one's knocking him actually. People are saying that it's going to be very hard for him to be considered an MVP type player on a team that's not winning as many games as other MVP type players.
Yeah.
We've seen from Josh Allen that adding Stephon Diggs to your roster, if you're a good quarterback, puts you in the MVP conversation.
Yep.
So I mean, I'm just speculating here, but I would absolutely love to see that happen.
That would be nice.
But yeah, speaking of Texans, they beat the Bengals.
You think that will put them in like that would take them to the next level?
I think they have a potential of getting at least to the level that they were on a few years ago when they had young Deshaun Watson and veteran DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of stuff where you got a veteran receiver with a younger electric quarterback.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that could be very interesting. They're definitely a playoff team if they add Stephon Diggs to that. Just got to work on your defense, just become better overall. But I'm sure that that's a good incentive if you do add Diggs to that squad to get people around them and help the other side of the ball. So, yeah, that could be crazy because we already saw what CJ did, just in a 1v1 quarterback matchup against Joe Burrow the other day.
Crazy. He had 350. He threw for like 350.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's the first rookie quarterback to throw for 350 in multiple games since I don't know what other quarterbacks it was, but I believe it was like all Hall of Famers, the other ones who've done it. So, yeah, props to him. Absolutely balling out at a young age. So I'm looking forward to that because I like the hype that's behind him. It's similar to a young Joe Burrow, a young Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, those guys who were in the MVP conversation young. That's kind of what I'm seeing out of CJ Stroud, and yeah, props to the guy. Is there any other of those one-score games that you really want to touch on for this NFL week? Because it was a crazy week when it comes to one-score games. I mean, the Texans-Bengals was a one-score game. Browns-Ravens, Lions-Chargers, Seahawks versus
Ravens.
Commanders, Broncos-Bills. Yeah, Ravens-Browns.
Man, the Ravens took that L, dude.
So what are your thoughts? Are you in panic mode on the Ravens because people had very high hopes for them just 2 weeks ago?
Nah, I don't think it's anything that. What I did like, I've seen Odell Beckham getting his legs back under him. He got 2 touchdowns back-to-back weeks, so that's good. I mean, they lost a game. They lost by 2. They can bounce back from that. Lamar got hit a few times. He threw a couple picks. I think they'll bounce back though next week.
Right, and this is
Or
this is
this
an
week.
argument I like using a lot when you're playing against people in your division. They just, they know you better, even if it's not the same quarterback each time and it's not the same defense each time. And it was the first time of it, being Deshaun Watson at
Mm-hmm.
quarterback up against the Ravens for them. So, yeah, even though your personnel changes, you know what their coaches think because you see them twice every single year.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's definitely a big advantage.
And they still 7-3. Ain't got too much to worry about.
7-3 is good. So, who are the teams with 7 and more wins?
7 and more wins. We got
We-
the Chiefs and the Lions and the Eagles. That's all.
Chiefs, Lions, Eagles, Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's not too bad. Yeah. Speaking of the Lions, what do you think of their win against the Chargers? I really like that. I thought that was a really good win.
Impressive win. But they won by a field goal, right?
Yep, that was another
Yeah.
one possession game, 41-38 for the
Yep.
Lions.
Jared Goff had a pretty good game. 333, no picks, 2 touchdowns.
St. Brown with a touchdown. I love Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Everybody been talking about the Lions all year, saying the Lions is back.
No, this is definitely. I mean, this is the best chance they've had of being the best team in the NFC North.
Yeah.
We're not quite at the lead of the NFC yet because there's other better teams. In my opinion, the best one,
Oh yeah, they got 7 wins too. They 7-2.
San Francisco 49. Yep,
The
there you go.
Lions,
I was
the
about to
Lions.
Oh, the Lions.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lions. But my 7-win team that I think has the best chances is definitely the 49ers. I don't know if you saw their game this week. It was their first time with Chase Young in the lineup.
Yeah.
Chase Young's a dog, and we already know they got other dogs on that defensive line. So now getting to the quarterback is just going to be a piece of cake for them. But yeah, 34-3 against the Jaguars.
Wasn't the Jaguars on a win streak, like a 5-game win streak?
The Jaguars were hot. The 49ers were quote unquote cold after losing Deebo Samuel and Trent Williams, but having those guys back in the lineup, adding Chase Young to the lineup, I mean, they absolutely smoked the Jags, who, were regarded as a great team across the NFL. Thoughts on the 49ers? Because I'm absolutely love him. I want you to go a little bit in depth on the 49ers and what you think of them.
I think they got a chance to make a deep playoff run, as usual. Yeah, they got the tools for it.
But I'm saying their chances of, going back to the Super Bowl for the first time since they lost to Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, or potentially even winning it this year, you think that's in the cards, or should we pump the brakes on that?
I don't know. It's a lot of good teams this year. Not a lot of good teams, but it's a couple good teams that I just don't. It's the Jaguars, but then again, the Jaguars are they have been winning because of their defense. So to put 34 on them like that, that's something to look at. Like a championship, I don't know. I just see two or three other teams ahead of them.
Okay, so then what would your top 3 teams in the NFL be? Because right now, no specific order. I would have the 49ers, I would have the Kansas City Chiefs, and I would have the Philadelphia Eagles.
Chiefs, Eagles, and
Ooh, Dolphins.
Dolphins, literally.
Dolphins
Chiefs,
just
Eagles,
slightly out of
Dolphins.
my top 3, but for no specific reason, because Tua's he's really good.
I'm probably putting Eagles at 1. Eagles
Okay.
got a little bit of a tough schedule for the rest of the season. I think they play the Chiefs this week. Let me see.
Super Bowl rematch?
Let me see.
Where's
Or
that
no.
game at? Is it in
Oh, yeah.
Arrowhead?
Eagles Chiefs to Monday, next Monday.
Monday Night Football. Damn, we gotta watch that.
Yes,
Arrowhead.
Arrowhead.
At Arrowhead. Okay, that's gonna be a crazy game. I'm
Definitely.
already knowing Tay pulling up. I'm already knowing Tay Tay gonna be there,
Taylor Swift pulling up.
right? She gonna be in the box with all the Mahomes and all the Kelseys gonna be there too. Cause both brothers, Mama Kelsey definitely pulling up to that game.
Hey, didn't y'all get Justin Jefferson back this week?
He didn't play this week, but he gonna play for us. I forgot who. Can you check who the
Broncos.
Vikings play?
Broncos.
They play. There you go. He's coming back against the Broncos this weekend.
Yeah, I heard.
So that's exciting. You got Joshua Dobbs. He's been playing phenomenal. I mean, absolutely phenomenal for a dude who just pulled up.
Didn't even know his teammates' names.
Right. Yeah. All that stuff that we be hearing about him, where he didn't know the teammates' names, he didn't know where, where the home team locker room was on game day on Sunday. There's a video of him getting off the elevator with a security guard from the arena that's literally pointing to him, and that guard wasn't supposed to be there because the guard gets back in the elevator and goes back to wherever his post was.
What?
Yeah, he had to bring Josh Dobbs over to the Vikings locker room because he didn't know where it was at.
That's insane.
But yeah, so what do you think about the Vikings with Justin Jefferson added back into the lineup with
I think he can
T.J. Hawkinson balling out? I don't know if you saw he had like $130 this weekend.
I think he can turn y'all season around. Well, not even really turn it around because it's not like y'all are like bad. Y'all are still 6-4, and y'all lost some pretty close games that y'all probably should have won. So I think having him back, like you said, is exciting. It's gonna be good for them. Hopefully, y'all win some games, go to the playoffs. We can go see some games.
Right? Nah, that'd be. I would love to go watch a playoff game.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't think I've ever been to a playoff game of any professional sports yet. So that would be lit.
Me either. I've been to a lot of games.
Because I know I'm going on. I think it's New Year's Eve. Packers Vikings.
Okay.
Right over there. I'm going to the bank. US Bank Stadium to watch Packers Vikings. So that's gonna be a fun game. But yeah, a playoff game would be crazy if we're able to squeeze in there.
Mm-hmm. I might have to see about that Packers game. I might have to go there too.
Packers game would be fun, bro. It's gonna be a crazy atmosphere. Vikings Packers. It's not like the Bears Packers quite. It's not quite that intense. It's not gonna be like a Buffalo game outdoors with all these crazy shirtless people running around. But it's gonna be a hell of an atmosphere. I don't know if you've been to a Vikings game before, but the Skull chant is absolutely something to go through, bro. They go absolutely nuts out here. But anywho, yeah, Vikings on the rise. I like what they've been able to do with Jordan Addison, with a slightly hurt T.J. Hawkinson still balling out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Justin Jefferson getting added to that is going to be amazing. So yeah. Anything else you want to talk about NFL wise? Am I forgetting something?
Let me see. Looking at scores. Nothing really crazy besides that Seahawks Commanders game was pretty good. But, you know.
Oh, yeah, with DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf went off in the fourth quarter.
Like literally like the last 2 minutes he was going off.
He would for that game winning. Nah, that was a good game. That's what I was saying earlier. There was just so many one-score games. It was a really fun thing to watch. But yeah, I don't know. What would you rather see those one-score games like get changed by like, you know, like I don't know, like a last-second like touchdown versus a kick? Because I know there's always a bunch of controversy around kickers and kicking and how much it impacts the game. Like I always remember being in college and my college roommate being a huge Chicago fan and writing a handwritten letter to Commissioner Roger Goodell because of the double doink for the Bears playoffs game.
So
where he hit the goalpost on a game winner, and he was basically saying something along the lines that a kicker should never be the deciding factor in a professional football game, this and that, and listed like many reasons. And I mean, Roger never answered his letter, but I thought it was kind of crazy that some fans would go to that extent and feel that strongly about kickers.
So you think like they should go for the score? They shouldn't try and get in field goal range, run the clock out, and then kick a field goal.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it is the smartest thing to do in the NFL, but the entertainment factor would be much bigger if everyone's trying to score a touchdown, you know?
Yeah.
But hey, as a coach, I'd be doing the exact same thing. I'd be calling all those timeouts. I'd be making sure we're at, 4 or 5 seconds left, 35-yard field goal, 35 to 40-yard field goal. That's exactly where you want your kicker to be. That's a sweet spot.
It's a lot that goes into that though too, because then you also think about, say, like you had a chance to win the game, you could have just like gracefully kicked the field goal. Like you trust your kicker, okay, we get it down to like the 30. My kicker can just kick it and we go home. Now say you try to score and like one of your best players gets hurt. And now the whole fan base mad at you, like, oh, you could have just kicked the field goal. Like it's a lot of things that could happen.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword because as a Vikings fan, I also will, that shit's engraved in my brain. Shit. Blair Walsh, do you know that name?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, you weren't living in Minnesota yet. Blair Walsh got death threats, bro, because it was a divisional game against the Seattle Seahawks the year that they played the Patriots in the Super Bowl and lost to the Patriots. Earlier in the playoffs, Blair Walsh had made all 9 of our points. We were losing 9-10, I think it was. And they do the same thing that we just talked about. They plan their timeouts perfectly, get him to a 33-yard, I believe it was a 33-yard field goal attempt. He's made all their points, hit every single kick he's taken that day, made a 50-yarder, right? This is a sure thing. We're obviously doing this. Boom, misses the field goal to win a playoff game. No one knows where he lives. He got so many death threats after that. He's off the map, bro. He is nowhere to be found.
Oh my goodness. So he's just hated in Minnesota.
Yeah, I guarantee for sure he doesn't live in Minnesota anymore. That's for sure. Nah, but that's a crazy Minnesota story right there. We haven't had too much luck with our kickers in the playoffs. But yeah. So it is a double-edged sword. You got that, we were trying to make sure our star players don't get injured. We're trying to get the win still, and then you don't get the win. Now what happens? This is week 10 of the NFL season. But if it happens in the playoffs, that kicker's life has changed forever.
You're going to be sick.
So yeah, want to hop into the NBA a little bit because I got a lot to talk about NBA wise.
Let's get it.
All right, cool. So in the ups and downs category, I want to talk about a small down. Just because I'm not too worried about them, but the Milwaukee Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Milwaukee Bucks. I told you I was going to bring this up, bro, but I text you. I'm like, hey, man, I feel like Milwaukee Bucks defense ain't it. And this is a couple weeks ago, like first week of the NBA season. And your answer is like, yo, Giannis, literally Defensive Player of the Year winner. Brook Lopez, been in the Defensive Player of the Year voting, essentially they ain't got nothing to be worried about.
Yeah.
And over the next few days, the only thing you can see is there's a glaring problem on defense. That they're, letting these teams that just shouldn't be scoring that many points, scoring a lot of points. So what are your thoughts on the Bucks? Do you think they need a personnel change to get that defense up? What's their deal?
I still don't think it's like. I just think it's one person, and everybody know who it is. It's Dame. He's a cone. So
he's a cone on defense.
Yeah, he's a cone on defense. But it's
no disrespect to Dame Lillard's offensive game.
Bro, Dame is literally my second favorite player. Like, that's my dude. But he's a cone on defense.
In the NBA right now?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
But he's like, he can give you 40. But if he's going up against like the other night when they played against the Nets, they beat us. But Cam Thomas put like 38 on his head, and he's pulling from half court on him. And I'm like, hello, you know, you should, of all people should know. Step up. You know what he can do. He know what you can do. Like, once you pass that half court line,
Wait,
bro,
hold
you
on.
gotta guard up.
You think he knew Cam Thomas could pull up like that? I
Come
didn't,
on,
because
bro.
I didn't know Cam Thomas could pull. I knew he was.
Check this
I didn't see him as a scrub player by any means, but I just didn't know he had that in him. He had an absolutely phenomenal shooting night, bro.
Check this.
He was on something.
You gotta tell him, check that scouting report, man. Cam Thomas is him. Cam Thomas is him. He been him since he got in the league. He just was playing behind KD and Kyrie and James Harden and Ben Simmons and Jack Vaughn, who didn't want to play him. Now he want to start him all of a sudden. Like, we think about all of what he's been through as a rookie, like
Right.
in that organization as a whole.
Having Steve Nash as a coach,
Come
as a
on,
young
dude.
player, cannot be, because like Steve Nash being the coach for those older vets, they were saying, basically, hey, we don't even need a coach. We good. We got this. But you still got some young players. You still drafting a couple players every year.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys definitely need someone. And yeah, I feel like the star power was outweighing the impact power. Because Kyrie not gonna be the guy. Well, actually, Kyrie would find someone to put under his wing, but James Harden, Kevin Durant, those are the type of guy to just be like, hey, come under my wing. Let me teach you the ropes, and they gonna be like, hey, I'm busy. I'm trying to win out here. Let me do my thing. So can't be too helpful, or can't be super helpful as a young player to have that environment. But he's flourished hella this year.
Definitely, but he put, like I said, he put 38 on Dame. Dame just gotta Dame. I mean, I can't put too much on him because he's like, what? He's like 30, 33, 34. I don't expect him to carry like a crazy defensive load and then still put 40 on the other team's head and do that consistently all year without load management. Like, I get it. But you can't just, like, people shouldn't just be able to just blow right past you and pull up over you, and like, it shouldn't be that easy, bro.
Yeah, but here's the thing. So a lot of people say that Luka Doncic is a cone on defense, and yet you see that if you pair basically like big guys around him and Kyrie that are able to help with their defensive, struggles, I guess, or defensive setbacks, if you set that right crew around them, they've been doing stuff.
Luka, the difference between him and Luka though is Luka has size. Luka's 6'8", 6'7", 6'8", so.
Right. Yeah, no, that's very true.
He got size. So even if Luka is not like moving his feet and like, oh, he's not blocking shots and getting steals and stuff like that, he's still a big dude that you gotta get around.
Right.
So he's not just no cone. Dame is a
traffic cone.
Yeah, Dame is literally getting seeked out on defense. Like, they're setting picks on him specifically to get him guarding our best ball handler, or whoever the best ball handler is on the court, or best scorer is, and they're taking advantage of that dude every single time.
So, as you said, you're not too worried because it's just one piece, but as you saw, it's affecting their record.
Yeah, it's Drew, because his scoring don't matter. Like, that's what people are realizing now, because without, like, Drew Holiday, they needed him for defense to guard the other team's best players. They were
using him the perfect way that he was supposed to be used, honestly.
Literally, he just happened to be a decent offensive player, a good enough offensive player to where it didn't really matter if he was like great, because Giannis was carrying the offensive load anyway. Brook Lopez is pretty damn good offensive player in my opinion too.
I think it's crazy that Brook Lopez spent the first few years of his career. He basically became the Brooklyn Nets all-time leading scorer.
Yeah.
Right? Without shooting basically any three-pointers.
And it's
crazy. Then on the back end of his career, I want to say 6, 7 years ago maybe. Yeah, 5 to 7 years ago, homie just started shooting. Became the best guy to have around a Giannis Antetokounmpo who's going to be driving to the lane.
Mm-hmm.
Someone with size that can help on defense, and then on the offensive end is just going to, if need be, I can just chill in the corner.
Them little transition threes he be hitting when he come down. He hit him right at the elbow. He stepped right into it every time. That's
right?
his
Because the
favorite shot.
opposing center got to be in the paint in case if Giannis decides to drive.
Yeah.
So if he's that trailing man, he can just spot up at the top of the key every time.
It works every time.
He molded his game. He changed his game and adapted it to the league in such a perfect way, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And he was a Nets guy, so I feel bad that he had to leave that to discover that side of himself.
That's what happens. That's what happens in Brooklyn, man.
I mean, I don't know too many people who left Brooklyn for a better situation. Vince Carter, when he left Brooklyn, he was in a worse situation. Jason Kidd, when he left Brooklyn, he was in a similar situation.
You went to New York, right?
That's when he started bouncing, I guess. But wait, Darren Williams.
Yeah. KG, Paul Pierce.
Well, them is different. They started going down when they got to the Nets.
True. That was their downfall. Yeah.
To this day, the reason why the Celtics have such a great roster.
D-Lo.
Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, all those guys are results from the picks that were traded to the Nets like a decade ago.
Yeah.
Marcus
Crazy,
Smart,
man.
Defensive Player of the Year, all those guys. All those guys are all thanks to Kevin Garnett and
Paul Pierce.
And the truth. The ticket and the truth, man.
Yeah.
Shout out Big Ticket. I remember first Timberwolves game I ever went to. I was with my dad, and he looks down the roster. He's like, "That's crazy. Back when you were born a long time ago, I went to a Timberwolves game, man. There was this dude with the same name, Kevin Garnett." I'm like, "Yo, pops." He done left the Timberwolves and came back since then. Because he stopped paying attention to basketball, so he was like, ain't no way that's the same dude like 10, 15 years later, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that was kind of funny to me.
That's funny.
So that was my down. Yeah, the Bucks kind of down for me. Hopefully they can rise back up. But on the upside, I want to talk about the T-Wolves. T-Wolves played the Warriors the other night. They beat the Spurs in the in-season tournament game. Anthony Edwards really coming into his own. What are your thoughts on that T-Wolves Warriors game? I don't know if you watched it or not, but that was
Definitely did. I love the Timberwolves, bro.
That was a really fun game to watch.
It was like, first of all, Timberwolves, they're 7-2, third place in the West. Anthony Edwards playing like an MVP, like I said.
And they're beating good teams.
They beat Denver.
It's a good 7-2.
They beat Denver.
They beat the reigning champs. They beat the non-reigning champs from 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty incredible squad.
They're beating good teams, bro. Anthony Edwards is playing crazy. This is not even like their full potential either. Like I don't think this is like their best. Nowhere near their best because Cat is not playing as he should. I think Gobert could be playing better, but he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. Jaden McDaniels is starting off really good. But
can you check out Gobert's stats? Because if he's averaging 10 and 10, I'm totally fine with that for the whole season.
He literally had 10 and 10 last game. 10 and 10 on 4 for 7 shooting.
There you go.
3 assists.
Yep, that's efficient.
5 blocks.
It's can't ask for anything more out of Gobert. Stafford Tower, shout out.
He's good.
Yeah, that would be the craziest thing all time if I could get Gobert out here as a dude who plays for Minnesota Timberwolves and as a guy who's French just like me. That'd be insane. So yeah, shout out Rudy Gobert. I want to point out the Warriors' struggle. Not that losing to the Timberwolves is like a bad thing by any means, but they've been catching a few L's throughout the season. I saw a graphic put on during the Timberwolves game that I think it was Dario Saric on the Warriors. He's the only player to have had a 20-point game apart from Steph Curry this whole entire season.
Yep.
Basically 10 games into the season. And that it only happened one time and that's it. So literally, Steph Curry's out there alone on an island. Do you think that's because they got rid of Poole? What do you think? Like,
I was thinking about that yesterday too, like because I was seeing how much Jordan Poole was struggling adjusting to like having his own team or whatever. But
is Jordan Poole like is that his team in Washington, or do you think because
Kuz,
Kyle Kuz
Kuzma
been there, you know?
Kuz, that's low key Kuz's team. If you watch the game, Kuz don't pass. Kuz over there playing like he Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, like he don't.
Bro, he got drafted when Kobe was on the Lakers.
Yeah.
Who gonna teach him how to pass?
He that's Kuz's team. But I think low key they missing Jordan Poole a little bit because although he's like a volume scorer shooter, he would have had multiple 20-point games by now. I promise you. Like, just the simple fact of having Steph on your team getting you a lot more points. That's why it don't make sense. That's why it doesn't make sense for nobody else to have had a 20-point, especially Klay Thompson and Wiggins. Wiggins is disappointing me the most because like I had high hopes for him because especially after like the way he performed because he got Finals MVP last time, right? They won the Finals, or did Steph get it?
No.
Steph got it,
yeah,
but
Steph
Wig was like a close second.
Oh,
so,
he was a shoo-in for. It was how do I put it? It was essentially a replica of Andre Iguodala's performance of 2015 against the Cavs. It was where they needed someone who is going to do everything and anything that Steph and Klay can't do, which is defend the best player on the other side, shoot threes if you're open, and drive on the inside, try and draw fouls so that now when Steph and Klay go inside, that those guys don't want to try and block them as much because they thinking about their fouls.
And so, he's a good scorer
too. Props to Wiggins, man. Props to Wiggins.
So I think Wiggins is a big part of it, but people are mad at Steve Kerr too. They saying he's a bad coach, but now thinking about it, it's like he doesn't really have that much to coach. He doesn't have that much to coach.
I actually was I can't remember who I was talking this about, but we had a conversation where he made a point. My friend made a point along the lines of that if Steph Curry decides one day to leave the Warriors, right? If he decides that the Warriors is no longer the team for him and he wants to move on because they're not winning or whatever, the relationship is deteriorated, that people are going to realize that it's very similar to a Brady Belichick situation in the NFL where Steve Kerr's not going to have many winning seasons after that, and people are going to realize that a great reason why Steve Kerr has so many wins under his belt is because of Steph Curry.
So like Popovich in a way. Low-key Popovich is the same way.
Nah, Popovich different though. Because Popovich, without Tim Duncan, before Kawhi was considered, basically like a perennial all-star, before he was considered a Hall of Fame caliber player, he was the best guy on the Spurs with old Tim Duncan / no Tim Duncan. And yeah, they didn't have a losing season ever. Like it basically made news when they missed the playoffs because it was the first time missing the playoffs in 18 years. You know what I'm saying? So he's just always found a way to get himself in there somehow, some way. Versus Steve Kerr started out his career with Steph Curry already on the roster, already being an all-star.
I feel like he had a lot of great players though, like really great players.
But he brought them in. That's what I'm trying to say. Steve Kerr took the reins.
He took over. Okay,
the players. Everyone had already been drafted.
Came to Pop. The players came to Pop.
Pop made sure he got the players he wanted.
I see.
He's the one who I saw this during I think it was the jersey retirement celebration for Tim Duncan or something like that, or like Manu, where he was like, "Yeah, I was just chilling, doing my summer workouts," and Pop calls me and he's like, "Yeah, I'm a bring in this little Argentinian kid. His name's Emmanuel." He's like,
They gotta.
he's like, what the fuck going on here? We about to bring in this Emmanuel dude. Like, he pissed because he like, yo, I'm trying to win more chips out here. And sure enough, Manu did his thing.
We need a like Spurs pop documentary. We need one.
Yeah, I want like a documentary that spans basically 16 years of his career from that first championship till their last championship with against the Heat, against LeBron James and them.
Yep.
Because that'd be a very interesting documentary.
Nice.
David Robinson, honestly, one of my favorite stories, bro. Dude shows up to the Naval Academy at 5'11", right, as an 18-year-old, and grows into his body, grows into a 7-foot body, and obviously, being at the Naval Academy, you're not just gonna grow this way. You're gonna bulk up at the same time. So he just became, the muscular mountain that we know him as in the NBA.
How long was he in the Navy?
He just went to the Naval Academy, which is like the school that, before you become a naval officer, you go to that school. So I'm sure he did 3 or 4 years.
Word.
Yeah, but
Admiral.
that's why he's so jacked. I believe he's the last player ever to have recorded a quadruple double in the NBA.
Wemby gonna be next.
You think that would be crazy. That'd be a crazy loop.
Him or Chet. Chet, I think Chet did it in high school or in an AAU game or something like that. Or I think Cooper Flag did it recently. Something like that, where it was very close.
So now my question is, was it with? I'm assuming it was with blocks, right?
Yeah. It's always, most of the time it's with blocks.
Right. It would have to be steals with a guard, which would be really hard to do. Points, assists, steals,
Unless
and rebounds. Yeah, you'd have to do like a Russell Westbrook could do it with steals.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, it's way easier for a center to get 10 blocks than it is for a guard to get 10 steals.
You can get like 3 blocks in one play.
Right? Yeah, Wemby been doing some of that sometimes. So yeah, Wemby definitely could be that next quadruple double threat. Yeah, or Chet or Bobo. Jokic
would be, I don't know.
I don't know about the 10 blocks.
If he's even having that good of a game, he probably won't even finish the game.
Ooh, Joel Embiid.
Possibly, yeah.
Embiid.
He gets some good blocks.
Right? Gets his blocks done early, and then once he gets double team at the end of the game, just start getting your assists. Something like that.
Let's talk about your boy.
What's wrong with my boy?
Wemby.
What's wrong with? No, I'm just kidding. That's the next thing I had on here. Spurs keep blowing leads, bro. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, man.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, even the announcers. I heard this announcer, Spurs score a bucket, and he says 16 points, Spurs' largest lead of the game, and the other announcer says, "Man, I hate saying that." Because every time they say that shit, something happens and they end up blowing the lead. So yeah, they're a little bit streaky. What can we attribute to that? Do you think?
Young.
I don't even know. Yeah, well, go ahead. Take
young.
the floor.
They're just young, but yeah, they don't really have no like clear like direction. I don't think everybody's all bought in. I think everybody right now just too hype about having Wemby. Everybody just stuck on that. Like, okay, our savior's here. Nah, he's still young too. This is his first time of playing against American talent, and he got some. He got some highlight plays, but that's it. It just highlights. We need you to be consistent. We need you to.
I want to see the Wemby that I saw against the Suns, and Kevin Durant.
Exactly. Well, he had 38.
Where he had 38, and
38,
where they were the ones coming back from a large deficit.
Exactly.
It was like a 24-point deficit.
I'm not gonna lie to you. They got robbed that game though. The Suns.
The Suns?
Yeah.
How so?
The last play of the game, they inbounded to KD, and they literally hacked this man's arm off, like almost bit a piece of his arm off. And
hold up, I don't think we saw the same thing. You're gonna have to pull that in slow mo after the podcast, because I just saw KD go like this and then literally just turn around and him literally his hands are in the air, but he's not looking at the refs.
Yeah.
He's looking at his teammates like, why didn't y'all tell me the guy was behind me?
Nah, he's looking for it. He's telling the ref like, "Are y'all good?" Because he's because you know in that situation, what are they trying to do? Foul, right? So they can get free throws. And
Nah,
you know what I'm
bro.
saying?
Nah, Johnson was trying to get. He was trying to get a dub.
He was trying to get his steal, right? The other dude fouled him though. He literally like grabbed his arm.
Oh, the guy in the front.
Yeah, and KD threw his hands in the air like.
Oh, I was only looking at Johnson because he actually was the one grabbing the ball.
Yeah, he took the ball
behind his back.
He just took the ball.
Oh, then maybe I need to see it in slow mo.
Other dude had KD arm locked up, like he literally is showing the ref like, "I'm fouling him. Can you call it? Blow the whistle?"
That's my favorite video I've seen of someone fouling is going back to him, Tim Duncan. He's looking at the refs. He waves at the ref, makes sure he gets his attention, and then just leans over and just bear hugs DeAndre Jordan during the Hack of Jordan days.
Oh, that's crazy.
Like 2015, 16 Clippers, you know what I'm saying?
Them days was crazy, bro. They really Yo, that's like that can make a person so insecure. Like that can mess up your whole game, bro. Like just throw off your whole career. And I think that kind of did for him.
You think
like
so?
That made him.
He's a champ, bro.
Like just but
he's the only one out of that Clipper squad to be a champ. Just saying.
He got multiple actually, right? No, he got one with the Lakers and one with the.
Oh, was he on that squad with Howard and McGee and all those other centers?
I think so.
Because that would explain why I didn't see him on the floor a lot. Because if you got McGee and Dwight Howard as centers, bro, like you're good. But yeah, double check that for me, bro. That's crazy. Because I know he won it with Denver this past season. But yeah.
Oh, he's got one. Yeah. I thought he was on that the Lakers team that had it.
Yeah, no, they were stocked. They were pretty stacked on centers that year on the Lakers. Not gonna lie, but yeah, I mean the person who originated it was Shaquille O'Neal. Back in the day,
Hack-a-Shaq.
Yeah, the Hack-a-Shaq, where man, how we keep on always talking about the Spurs. It was Greg Popovich. He put a player in that normally doesn't start games, and literally as soon as Shaq had tipped the ball to his teammate, he got fouled. Like literally 3 seconds in the game.
I remember that. And he was like, and then he looked over to Pop. Pop was
that's
like,
his first reflex. He looks over at Pop like, bruh, you for real?
Pop was like, dang.
Hey, if there's one person you're gonna joke around with in the history of the NBA, it's gonna be Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah.
Because he's the one who not go like as long as you don't come at him with no type of ill intent, he gonna take it the way it was meant to be taken. You know what I'm saying? Like he was just a kid out on the floor having fun. So Spurs struggles, Warriors struggles, Wolves did well. Who else? I like the Bulls. Check their record. Their record doesn't reflect exactly what I've been seeing from them because I've been seeing a lot of good stuff from the Bulls.
They're 4-7.
Yep. I've been seeing a lot of good stuff from them.
I think that's their problem, though. They just have a lot of individual good players. They're not a team. Like Levine is good by himself. DeRozan is good by himself. I don't think DeRozan should have ever left San Antonio. A lot of people forget he played there. But he was like, that was probably one of his best years in San Antonio, especially shooting the three ball.
Right after he left Toronto, because he was part of the Kawhi deal.
Yeah, especially shooting the three ball. That was some of his best years shooting the three ball in Toronto. But DeRozan, they got individual. They really need Lonzo. They miss Lonzo. But shout out to Kobe White. Kobe White been playing pretty good.
Yeah, I like me some Kobe White, bro. He's I mean,
UNC product.
Yeah, I'm a little biased because I'm a Bulls fan, and if you are on the Bulls by going through UNC, I kind of like you, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah, got you.
So yeah, Zach LaVine, I don't know. I see him kind of. I think it's good that they got Caruso on that lineup because I think otherwise they would be, similarly to the Bucks, just defensively just lost.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what they need to get over the hump and get up into that, into that better half of the Eastern Conference. What do you think it would take for them?
I think they need like somebody to step up and actually be like a superstar, because 11 points on 3 for 14 is not superstar. Is not superstar shooting.
Is that Zach? Is that
that's
Zach's
DeRozan.
stats? Oh,
That's
DeRozan's.
Zach Levine 20 for 5 and on 5 for 19 is not. You know what I'm saying? That's not going. They
Yeah, it's
only
not
lost.
elite.
I mean, and they only lost by 8 to the Bucks,
Mm-hmm.
and they're shooting like that. Now imagine if you go 11 for 19, and you go 8 for 14, 9 for 14, bro.
Right.
You win by like 10. Like, just shoot better. Vucevic had 26, 12, and 5.
Yeah, Vucevic shouldn't be. When he first got traded to the Bulls, yeah, he was definitely supposed to be that second option. But now that you have Levine and White, I think those two guys gotta put in more work. But yeah, those two guys with Vucevic setting screens for them should be lethal.
Yeah.
You'd think.
Kobe White is good, but he shouldn't be your second best player. He should.
So what do you think they need to do? They need to trade for someone, or they need to acquire something more in the draft?
Honestly, it don't mean nothing, but they really need Lonzo, bro. Lonzo, they really need
I
Lonzo.
forgot he was injured.
Yeah.
Literally until you just said that name, you could have told me Lonzo ain't in the league, and I probably would have believed you.
Like, that's how bad it is, but they need.
Yeah, it's a
him
terrible
good,
injury
bro.
to have, bro.
And it's like, it sucks because right before the injury, he just was starting to like get in his form. Like
he was balling.
He was like, in my opinion, Lonzo Ball could like average a triple double easily. Not no like nothing crazy,
Not no
but
25, 26-1 triple double like Russell
he
Westbrook.
could
You
average
talking
like
about
a
like
14, 15, 10 and 10.
right?
You know, because
Or even like a 16, 10 and 8. Just flirting with that triple double line every single night.
Yep. Because he's pretty big for a guard. What is he, like 6'4"? He's pretty big for a guard. So he can get those boards.
I agree with you. I think that would definitely put them in that top conversation in the East. Because when you look at the East, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as we said, we're gonna assume these are just temporary struggles with the Bucks. But you look at the Bucks, you look at the 76ers. I don't see many other teams that can follow them.
The Bulls? You said Bulls, right?
The Bulls, yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Bulls can be in that top side of the East.
There's not like, even if there's teams that are above them right now, there's not a lot of teams in the East that are like way better than them. Like
that I trust in the playoffs,
like,
for example.
It's like Pacers, if they are better than the Bulls, it's barely. Miami, they just suck in the offseason. Miami,
I'd put Miami for sure in that top one, but yeah, I don't see Miami winning a championship.
Miami, I
don't
never
see the Bulls
ever
winning a championship either, but yeah.
I never ever get worried about Miami in the regular season. Like, I really don't care what they do in the regular season, because come playoff time, we all know what time it is.
Right, because we've seen them be a play-in team. We've seen them be an 8 seed. We've seen them be. I think they were a 6 seed when they played the Lakers back in the bubble.
There was a play-in
playoffs.
last year. There was a play-in team, and they went to the finals.
There you go. Yeah,
they lost their first. They lost their first play-in game, I believe. Yo, one team that's very slept on that I like is the Hawks.
Yeah,
The Hawks
really
have
well this year.
a lot of
Murray.
potential, bro. They have a lot of potential. And even last year, people was calling me crazy because then they played the Celtics first round, right?
Yeah.
They played the Celtics first round, and people were saying, "Oh, this is gonna be a sweep, and they're gonna get destroyed." And I said, "Bro, number one, the Hawks are not sweet, bro. Just because they was a playing team, they not sweet. You let them get in there,
they made it to the finals,
and they're really
in
exactly
2021,
the conference finals, I believe."
Or that's what I meant. The conference finals against the Bucks, who eventually won the chip in 2021.
Exactly. And then I was like, bro, don't sleep on them. And then Trey is not going for that, and DeJounte not going for that in Atlanta. But game 1 they got thrashed by like 50, and then the next game I think they won. And Trae Young put on a master class. But the Hawks are a sleeper team, bro. The Hawks are a sleeper team.
I feel like we keep on coming back to the same topic of what some teams need to get them over the edge is a little bit of defense.
Defense, I swear.
Because I mean, Trae Young with
He's a cone.
Trae Young with 4 marshmallows around him can get you a win, but not 4 wins in a series. You need a little bit of defense.
I think he can, bro. It's just it won't get you a chip. It'll get you far, but not a championship. Capella, I think Capella I'll play like his time over there is done.
Mm-hmm.
If they can find somebody like him but younger
to replace that role,
yeah, like younger, and then get like a solid wing.
So,
because they
need a Gobert type player on the Wolves. They need a Wemby.
Yeah.
If Wemby was on the Hawks, that would be scary. Wemby and Young, what do you do?
Wemby and Young.
Wemby, what do you
and
guard?
The
inside or the outside?
Yeah.
You just don't.
Yeah.
Anywho, I'm just fantasizing at this point.
That
I
would
don't
be
even know
nice.
what I'm talking about. But yeah, I really like the Hawks. We got check out when the Hawks play the they already played them this year.
Was it here?
I don't know. Check out see if Atlanta come into Minnesota, because that'd be a good game to watch, low key.
Bet.
They
going Philly gonna be here. Philly gonna be here Wednesday, and the Knicks gonna be here Monday.
Wait, Wednesday tomorrow?
This week coming up.
Oh, okay. Oh, so Thanksgiving week. Got you.
Monday Knicks, Wednesday Philly.
All right. So, any other team in the NBA you wanna touch on before we wrap up?
I'm looking down the standings right now. See who's been impressed. Speaking of Philly's been pretty impressive. I hope Kelly Oubre can come back soon, because I love Kelly Oubre, bro. Kelly Oubre is...
Yeah, that was terrible. Hold on. I just want to parentheses before you get onto that. But Kelly Oubre, non-basketball injury, literally outside of the facility. Just a terrible thing that could have happened to anyone, pro basketball player or not. You know what I'm saying? So, like, hopefully he gets well soon.
Yep.
But, yeah, you don't want to see that happen from anyone in any neighborhood. So
how did we?
I hope. Yeah, I don't know how the hell this person hit him with a whole ass car, but that's crazy.
I almost forgot, since we on Philly. Maxey, man, Maxey had 50.
We almost did a whole entire podcast episode speaking about the NBA for 35 fucking minutes.
Yes, bro.
And we didn't talk about Maxey. You pointed it out. You sent me a text. You said Maxey most improved this year, and I had to agree right away when you said that. I've been seeing a lot of good stuff from him. He's young, bro. He's 22.
Bro, literally.
He's 22. I feel, was last year his rookie year?
Nah, I think this is like his third or fourth year. But
he's literally balling like he's 26 years old.
Bruh, he's nice, bro. And I saw it last year in the playoffs when they played us and they swept us. But that's when I got like my first, like, I was like, oh yeah, this dude is like amazing. And then even Doc Rivers, before he got fired, he literally said, like, Maxey has the green light. And I was like, bro, he better do something with it. You got a green light from your coach?
You weren't familiar with his game.
Yeah, I wasn't familiar. I mean, I was like, okay, he's pretty good, but show me some. Hey, he been showing me, bro. He got a burner. He got a handle. He can blow by you. Like he got potential to be like a shy type player.
He has that swagger, bro.
He can pass, and now Harden is on his way.
He has like that mentality where he's like some of those step backs that he took during that 50 piece. I'm
different.
Like, yo, like there's no way you're actually attempting this.
Nah.
And it's like, bro, it's the second quarter.
Bro, those are normal shots that he takes like normally. Like
it's
if you watch them.
I know, and now that I've watched enough of him and seen him ball out enough, I ain't even gonna be mad. But there were some shots where I'm taking it, I'm like, yo, how is coach like seeing him take these and it's good,
Who else you want taking them shots?
bro. It's okay to be a team where no one can take a shot from 6 feet behind the 3-point line after a step back.
I mean, but that's
But
just the
he
NBA
got
we in
that
now.
talent. He got that talent. I'm not gonna take any way away from Tyrese Maxey because he's cold and I'm excited to see that game against the T-Wolves next Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely, that's gonna be a crazy game. Him and Ant going back and forth. It's gonna be some Curry and Ant all over again from the other night because that was a crazy game. Just what was it, 33 and 38 points or something like that from Ant and Curry.
Yeah, Ant had 33 and then Curry had 38. But Curry, Ant was like 11 for like 20 some, but he scored like 10 down in the clutch after he kind of like an argument with Draymond.
Yeah, I was
I like
watching it
that.
with my roommate. And I remember seeing like Ant got 16, Cat got 21. You know, and we've been talking about Cat and how he should step up for the Timberwolves, and so I was like, yo, it's good. It's maybe his game where he steps up. He ended the game with 21, and Ant ended with
He only
30.
took 14 shots.
Yeah, nah, but yeah, I'm not worried for Tyrese Maxey and the 76ers. People were a little bit worried when, you know, as you should be when the dude who's leading the league in assists leaves your team. Yeah, it can hurt the squad, but Tyrese really stepping into his own. I'm excited to see him in the All-Star game this year because I think he's going to make it for sure for the first time. And, yeah, and I'm excited to see who else you want to see in the All-Star game that hasn't been there yet.
Scotty Barnes.
Scotty Barnes from the Raptors. I like that. I want to see...
He been hooping.
I want to see Kuzma. We were talking about him earlier.
Kuz. He been in the All-Star game before?
He has?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I believe.
And Murray been an All-Star before.
Jamal? Yeah, you saw he just...
DeJounte.
Yeah, he has. He definitely has.
Got you.
I think it was actually this past season.
Damn. Well, shout out because we got hella young players stepping into the league, and
yeah,
that means we're getting even more electrifying plays. So
free John Morant.
Hey, we 10 games in, so we got 15 more games. Yeah, we got a month. He gonna be back in a month, bro.
Miles Bridges about to be back today or tomorrow. And I meant to tell you the big Phoenix Big 3 debut tonight.
Yep, that's facts. Nah, D-Book #1, back in the lineup. Bradley Beal been playing for the past few games, so yeah, it's official. Big three in Phoenix back together.
We're gonna see what's up.
Nice. Nah, I'm excited. Who do they play tonight?
No, it's tomorrow.
Yes, sorry, tomorrow.
It's Wednesday. Let me see. I hope it's a good one. They play the Timberwolves.
Wait, tomorrow?
Yeah, but it's in Arizona though. That's gonna be a good one, bro. I gotta tune in for that one.
I'm excited. So tomorrow, what time?
Timberwolves, I think it just says 7. Let me see. The Timberwolves play the Warriors today, 8 o'clock.
Yeah, they're doing that baseball style. Yeah, I think it's their first year experimenting with that, and I think it's kind of nice. You know, it really shows if you beat the team 2 times, you better than them. Like it's a little warning, like, hey, this is what you need to work on before the real time comes and the postseason comes. You know what I'm saying? So I really think it's a good metric to have these, especially when you if you're doing one of those series with a good team such as the Warriors. You know, when the Timberwolves are playing the Warriors, that's a really good team to play twice. It's a good measuring stick game. So yeah, so I'm excited. We got a good week of games. We're gonna have some good stuff to talk about in the next episode.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, on that note, thank you guys so much for tuning in for the 3rd episode of Balls Out Sports Podcast. Yeah, hope you guys have a good one, and we'll see you on the next episode. Peace.
Peace.